It's October the 18th, Championship Picks edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with the promo code MLB SGPN to get a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college football and the NFL with Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Friday, October the 18th, and we have two Championship Series games to handicap this afternoon, early one and a late one. Joining me from somewhere in New York is Mr. Dylan Rockford. D-Rock, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing. I wish I could be a little better today. My team's fighting for their life, but good news. Temptations, the band, is performing the national anthem here in Game 5 tonight. So hopefully they bring us some luck. I mean, we need it at this point.
I've never heard of those people. Who are they?
It's just the old school boy band that, they got a bunch of hits. Yeah.
Okay,
look them up. You'll like them.
Temptation boy band. If I Google that, I'm sure there's going to be some suspicious stuff pops up. Remember, I sent you that song that says "Never place bets on the New York Mets" that I discovered a little while ago. Did you ever listen to it? Do you remember?
Yeah, and they were right at this point. At this point in the series, I mean, they can't do anything right, but they're right. I mean, they were ahead of the schedule, and it's all burning down. I've lost all hope. It's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, it's been obviously. I did the show Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and everyone's had varying levels of hope and excitement as the week's gone on. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster, but it has just got away from the Mets in the last couple of nights. The two home games, just a little bit of an anticlimax, really. The Dodgers have flexed their muscles, as we'd expect, and neither game the Mets really got into it. Last night was the same. Shohei led off, obviously, with a homer. Vientos replied pretty much straight away, and then that was about it. So there was a couple of moments in each game. There was the bases loaded in the game on Tuesday, I think, and then the game on Wednesday. Sorry, but yeah, just slightly disappointing, Dylan. I mean, do you think they can get back into it?
I don't. I really don't. I think last night was kind of the knockout punch. I mean, Quintana did not look good from the first pitch. I mean, that ball is still going. Shohei just crushed it. They bring in Budo after like the fourth inning. He lets up 2 runs immediately. Matten, everyone. Young, he let up 3 runs. Mookie almost hit for the cycle. It was actually insane. And the Mets, the bats have gone MIA recently. So 8+ runs for the Dodgers in 3 of the 4 games, and they're flexing on us. They've been the better team all season, and they're really starting to show. And I know me and Scott were on the episode about a few days ago and kind of criticizing Dave Roberts for, his managerial skills in his recent form. But he's actually pushed all the right buttons, I thought, in this series, and they really didn't have to do too much. The Mets, outside of Game 2, they've been clearly the better team.
Yeah, I think you're right, Dylan. The other series, though, Cleveland gave that a little bit of life last night because they looked dead and buried at one point. And what amazing. I actually stayed up to watch the end of this game. I was messaging Adam, actually. Adam Rosenberger works on the network because I was just about ready for bed. And it looked like it was bedtime. And then all of a sudden, Big Christmas ensured it wasn't bedtime. But what a staggering piece of drama that was. And the minute the ball left his bat, he knew it. He stood there like a heavyweight boxer as that ball flew out. It was great. And then David Fry, who we've talked about quite a lot this week, one of the Cleveland sort of matchup darlings. David Fry hit it out. So that was fun. It was something the Cleveland fans will remember for a long time. But it did breathe a little bit of life back into this series because at 3-0, the Guardians were having their last rights read to them, Dylan.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when the Yankees scored those 3 runs in the 8th, they just literally sucked the life out of the Guardians at home and off of their best closer. I mean, arguably probably the best closer in the league in Class A. He hasn't had a good playoffs. I'll admit that. Trevor points that out in the chat, but in the regular season, he was kind of untouchable. I mean, this whole bullpen was their 7th, 8th, and 9th inning guys were really good. But the Yankees were able to get to him. They put in Luke Weaver, and then, Feliz Navidad. I mean, that ball is still going. Probably the biggest hit of his career. It was amazing. And then forced extras, and like you mentioned, David Fry hit that. He had a shot as well. So, this series is interesting. I know Yankee fans were saying we're 6 wins away from another title, but don't count your chickens before they hatch. That's what I was doing, and look how sad I am here today. So.
We were chatting a little bit when Aaron Judge hit that home run. 2 things actually about that. The first, on the Judge home run, the ball never got more than about 10 foot off the ground.
Yeah.
It was absolutely astonishing. It was like it was almost like it was still going up as it went over the wall. I've never seen such a low bullet-like trajectory. It was just like a missile. The second thing was, Dylan, you completely spoiled the back-to-back homers for me because I was watching it here on my dodgy stick. And obviously, I must have been 2 or 3 minutes behind. And then you messaged me back to back in great big letters. As Stanton still stood over a 1-1 pitch on my telly. So you absolutely ruined the most dramatic moment of the season to that point. You got there about 30 seconds in front of me. So thanks for that. I messaged you back 30 seconds later saying, oh, there it goes. Managed to catch up. So there you go. There's a lot of DJs in the chat Friday afternoon. Shouldn't you people be at work? What's going on? Jason was first in. Trev, how you doing? Who else is here? Adam G, welcome. Steve, how you doing? Blaine as well. I haven't seen Blaine in the chat for a little while.
Real quick. Looking forward before we get into the baseball, it's El Clasico this weekend, correct?
I've been all Premier League, mate, here. I haven't got into the Spanish stuff yet. Is it Madrid-Barcelona this weekend?
Yeah, I thought you would know. I was going to be like, hey, Matt, we need a bet for El Clasico. I'm just going to take Real Madrid just because I don't like Barcelona, but it's neither here or there.
They are the better team. I'll try and have a little look when you're seeing stuff. Yeah, we're going to get onto the 2 games momentarily. I'm going to tell you first about Underdog, our proud sponsor here. Loads of sports, MLB, MMA, WNBA, and NASCAR, as well as the NFL and college football. The NBA tipping off this week. Every NBA pick'em entry from the 19th of October through to the 27th is boosted. Our promo code is MLB SGPN. That will get you a special pick and a first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code MLB SGPN. As TBM, Larry's joined us as well. Larry's asking what happened to the Mets. Don't mention it, Larry. Dylan's a little bit delicate. We underway tonight, quite soon actually. 5:08 Eastern Time. The LA Dodgers at the New York Mets. The Dodgers lead the series 3-1. Jack Flaherty goes for the Dodgers. Left-handed pitcher David Peterson for the Mets. Mets plus 120. Dodgers minus 142. Total here sits at 7.5. I think the Mets need to grow a pair. Larry's asking what's happened to them. They walked Shohei Ohtani 3 times last night, Dylan. And do you know what happened? He scored all 3 times after they'd walked him. Maybe you might just as well pitch to him at that point. Ohtani and Betts got on base 8 times between them. They scored 7 times and they drove in 5. And honestly, as uncomplicated as it sounds, that's kind of the difference. The Dodgers are a little bit better than the Mets. So it's kind of gone to form, really. The Mets have chosen Peterson over Senga today. Senga could come in and pitch maybe the fourth inning. I don't know. They might give Peterson one time through. Peterson's gone no longer than 3 innings in his 5 playoff appearances. So I think that might be the plan today, is to give Peterson one turn through, throw Senga in there, and then we'll see how we're going after that. He doesn't have good numbers against them, Dodgers historically, David Peterson. He could go okay. Jack Flaherty pitched 7 scoreless with 6 strikeouts against the Mets last week. Question here is, can he do it again? He wasn't so sharp before that. And we do like to give the offense a chance when they've give them a chance to adjust when they've seen a pitcher in back-to-back spots. So I don't think the Mets are without hope here. I don't think it's an absolute lock that Jack Flaherty can go and deal for the Dodgers. The total is where my eye was drawn to, Dylan. The 7.5. It always looks low when you hold it up against this Dodgers offense, especially given some of the numbers that we just ran through. Ohtani, Betts, Freeman slotting back in there. The Mets have shown the ability to get involved offensively in big spots as well. Both games in Citi-Field have hit so far. My main play, Dylan, is going to be at over 7.5. What have you got?
Yeah, that's going to be my play as well. Let's just keep the trend going. 7.5 at -102. My total came out to 8.1. You know, all 4 games, they flew over this total. And Trev's right. I mean, at this point, the Dodgers could, the way they've been hitting, they might score and get over this by themselves. 8+ runs in 3 of the 4 games. They're just hitting the ball right now. 259 in this series, 272 at Citi-Field as well. And, you know, I get why they're throwing Peterson. Senga hasn't looked good. He's having trouble finding it. To be honest, it's his 3rd start all season. Like, let's give the guy a little benefit of the doubt. I mean, that's why he's kind of struggling. I just don't think this would be a good start for him. Peterson's been okay, but the Dodgers have already gotten to him. In just 2 innings, they managed to score 2 runs off of him as well. So, yeah, I've lost all hope. I think the Mets, they're done. Maybe they could get a run or 2 and try to help get this over. But the series is over. I think we see another blowout here tonight. What have the Mets starters or the bullpen, besides maybe Sean Manaea, but even he got kind of hit a little bit. But what have they shown us to get us to trust them? They haven't done anything. So I think the Mets just kind of ran out of gas, all their luck with Grimace and all that shit. I think it's out right now. The Dodgers are clearly the better team right now. So came up a little short this season, but much farther than I think you and I both expected. So good season, but they're done. Give me the over.
Yeah, it's a shame. It does sound the death knell on all of my futures bets as well. The last one that's hanging on is the New York Mets. I took it 33-1 around August time or whatever. So a decent run for my money. There's one unsettled bet in my Bet365 account, which isn't going to win, but it's just sitting there laughing at me because obviously they're not going to settle the bet until the Cy Young has been awarded. And it was Bobby Miller to win the Cy Young. Bobby Miller, who got demoted about 15 times and had an ERA of about 46.5. But that's still just sitting there, one unsettled bet. Bobby Miller at 40-1. Reminded me of how useless I am at this. Props-wise, on the pitching side, I have got one. It's a little bit chalky, but that's the book's fault, not mine. And it's the under strikeouts for Jack Flaherty. Under 6.5 strikeouts is -156. So it is juiced. But he hasn't gone over 6. He's only gone over 6 in 1 of his last 8 starts. But I don't think he's going to deal quite as efficiently as he did last time out. I think the Mets will give him something to think about. So it just looks like a really good bet. I understand that it's juiced. It's right on the line. But Flaherty under 6.5 strikeouts at -156. Hitters wise, Max Muncy's been great to me. All week. He's been absolutely brilliant. But I think he reached base 5 times the other night when I took him to hit 1 single. And he homered. But with Peterson not going as long, I think I'm less inclined to take Muncy tonight. There might just be some matchup stuff, lefty, righty, whatever. Tommy Edman's been going really, really well. So I'll take Tommy Edman. Over 1.5 total bases is a price of +170. Dylan, any players caught your eye in this one?
Yeah, real quick, Max Muncy's been a beast. I mean, what his eye at the play has been amazing. And Tommy Edman for a stacked lineup like this, hitting cleanup. I think that bodes well for David Roberts and him. But I'm gonna go a Dodger as well. I'm gonna go Jack Flaherty over 15.5 outs. It's a little chalky at -130. I see 16.5s out there as well at -110. I like both. I mean, we hit this in the first game back when I was recording with Scott for game 1 of the series. And it also looks like Yamamoto is done for the season, for the series as well. He's only going to get the one start. So I think Dave Roberts is going to want to push Flaherty as far as he can because the bullpen will be used heavily from here on out, in my opinion. Even if he gives up a run or two, I think he's going to let Flaherty go. He did with Walker Buehler last series as well. So I think this is a good matchup for him, for Flaherty. Mets, they're really not a patient team as well. Flaherty relies on a lot of his chase rates to be more effective. So I think he goes out. He went 7 innings last game. I think over 15, over 16, whatever you like. But I like Jack Flaherty here today.
Okie doke. Abstract Homo sapiens joined us. Wants to talk about Cleveland, New York. Well, you haven't missed it, mate. We're getting to that game. First off, tell you about Rhythm. Rhythm, the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform, helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds. You can get predictions for money lines, spreads, totals, props. You can build your own model or use one of the top performing models. Claim your 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And we're brought to you by BetUS, the best in the business for over 30 years. Lightning fast payout. You can use crypto. And if you use our link to sign up, you will get a 125% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS with the promo code SGPN so they know that we sent you. BetUS is America's favourite sportsbook. Second up this evening is at 8:08, first pitch between the New York Yankees and the Cleveland Guardians. The Yankees lead the series 2-1. It will be Luis Hill for the Yankees and Gavin Williams goes for the Guardians. The Yankees are trading at -120. Cleveland are even money, +100. Total is 7.5. Dylan, you can lead us off with the Yankees Guardians.
Yeah, let's tie this series up. Give me the Guardians. I got +105. My numbers actually made them the favorite here. Gavin Williams, he's had some struggles at home. 6.55 ERA, despite nearly giving up 11.5 strikeouts per 9 innings at home. The advanced numbers, if you really look into Gavin Williams, they suggest positive regression is coming for him. So that's why I kind of like them as well. Yankees, they're averaging around 5.2 runs per game on the road. That led the American League during the regular season. But this Guardian bullpen, it helped them lead the league with a 2.57 ERA. No other bullpen had a better than a 3.11. Now, on the other side, like you mentioned, Louis Gill is starting for the Yankees, 15-7 on the year, 3.50 ERA. But just like Gavin Williams, I think both pitchers might be a little rusty because this is their first start since September 28th. Gill, he's also entered having command issues as well, trying to find the strike zone a little bit after starting the season really good. Ending it, he kind of was out of rhythm a little bit, didn't have command issues. He posted a 4.14 field independent, 10.1 strikeouts. He averages around 4.5 walks per 9 innings as well. And, I just think the Cleveland Guardians, their offense has been much better at home than it's been on the road. At home, they're averaging 4.79 runs per game. That's 10th in the league compared to just 4 runs per game on the road. So I think with the late heroics down to their final out, I just think the momentum is going to carry them after that crazy game last night at +105 for pure value. I think they should be the favorite here at home. I don't think the Yankees should be this big of a favorite with Lewis on the mound. So I'm going to take the Guardians here, +105.
Unfortunately, Dylan, I am on, or probably fortunately for you, as it turns out, I'm on the other side. I've got the Yankees here. You're right in saying that these are 2 pitches we haven't seen in forever. 3 weeks roundabout since we saw Lewis Hill. Williams also hasn't pitched in the playoffs. I actually think Lewis Hill's been slightly unlucky not to have had a run out. The main thrust here for both teams is which team can get to the pen with the lead.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Cleveland try and do anyway, but that's certainly the situation tonight. Lewis Hill didn't finish the season too strong, but he was excellent in spots. I mean, he was a Rookie of the Year contender going back to early summer. His road splits are fine. He's fairly consistent. Williams has got stacks of potential. I'm calling this now. If anyone in the chat's got a pen, Gavin Williams, Cy Young next year. Write that one down. I know I've just talked how bad my Bobby Miller bet was. Don't let that put you off. We'll fire some more bullets. Gavin Williams is doing it next year. He didn't really get going after returning from injury in July. He had 7 home starts with a 6.55 ERA. I do prefer the Yankees. I think even with both pitchers, both starting pitchers grading out quite similarly, the New York Yankees lineup's just a little bit deeper and more trustworthy. Cleveland need a lot of stuff to go right. They need a lot of things to click into place, like they did last night. The timely nature of those home runs was ridiculous because effectively they were dead and buried. Even the incredible play from was it Jimenez with we gloved that with his back to, and somehow Naylor picked it as well. Someone the size of Naylor, I don't know, his hamstrings didn't explode when he picked that ball. That was pretty impressive. They need a lot of stuff to go exactly to plan, and I don't think New York do. I think New York have got a couple of different options. So I do like the Yankees, but I like the over again. It's just too low. Majority of the comments likes the over. Lots of walks. Jason's pointing out. Yeah, the total's too low again. So the other play I like for both games here is a little 2-game parlay on the overs. I think both games can go over 7.5. That pays plus 265. And now I love a little Friday night bet builder with a whole weekend of Premier League action coming up. So my little pot builder for the weekend is going to be that 2-game parlay on the overs at plus 265. In terms of player props, it was hard to pick anything on pitches. Who was giving out the Gavin Williams strikeouts earlier on? That was Abstract Homer Sapien earlier. Gavin Williams, 5 strikeouts in 4 innings. Like I say, tons of potential. So if you want to back him, if you've got faith in him, it was just all a little bit too volatile for me. And because the bookies are aware how volatile it is, all the sides you instinctively want to take are short prices. They're all quite heavily juiced.
Yeah.
So I was happy to stay on the offensive side of the ball here. And what I like is I had a look around lots of different places. It's a total base matchup, this one. And I'm going to take Juan Soto over Stephen Kwan. It's a 3-way market because you've got Soto to win, you've got Kwan to win, and you've got the tie. But Soto is plus 140. Stephen Kwan isn't quite as good against righties. Soto blanked last night, but he did have a little 3-game hitting streak before that. Stephen Kwan might draw a load of walks. He's great at that, but that's not going to help him in this market particularly. So I think Soto, who looks pretty locked in, I think Soto can outbase, if that's a word, Stephen Kwan here, plus 140 for that pick, Dylan.
Yeah, one player prop for me. I actually did go to the pitchers market, but like you said, a lot of them are a little chalky. I'm gonna fade Lewis Gill here, minus under 4.5 strikeouts at minus 145. He's logged 5 strikeouts or more in 23 of 29 outings, but he's averaging around 6 strikeouts per start. But this Guardian team, yes, they're probably not as powerful as the Yankees lineup, but they're hard out. They don't strike out a lot. They're one of the best teams all season without avoiding strikeouts. They strike out 20% of times versus right-handed pitchers. That was 3rd lowest in the league as well. So yeah, it's the under is chalky for a reason. So I'm gonna take that under 4.5 strikeouts for Lewis Gill.
Jason, like walks over 1.5 walks for Hill is 8 of the last 10 and 9 of the last 10 for Williams. So yeah, lots of walks, which will help us get the over that we like as well. Dylan, if you've got a best bet, or even better, do you have a home run pick? Scott and Munaf or Scott and Lonte yesterday both went yard, which was pretty impressive. So we've got a precedent set there, Dylan, that we have to follow up. So, anyone catch your eye?
Yeah, no home run, but I guess off the top of my head, I would lean the three kind of heavy guys: Shohei, Mark Vientos, or Max Muncy. They've been crushing the ball lately for the Mets series. So, yeah, those are three guys I kind of like. But I guess for the best bet for him this show is going to be the Jack Flaherty over outs. He's just been an out machine this whole season. It's at 16.5. I do like that as well, but I just think Dave Roberts is going to push him because they're going to really need to use their bullpen in the World Series. And yeah, we saw him do it with Walker Buehler, even if he gives up a run or two, which I really don't expect him to do with how bad this Mets offense has been. But yeah, I expect Dave Roberts to let him go a little bit. And Mets really not a patient team. They swing at everything. So if he could get a few quick innings together, I think he could go 6-7 innings. So yeah, Jack Flaherty is going to be my best bet of the show.
Okay. I'm going to stick with my two-leg over parlay as my best bet, plus 265. I'm delighted with that. But there are a couple of home run props that I like. I don't want to take the same old players. I think Will Smith's got a chance tonight for the Dodgers. His numbers grade out all right. Will Smith is 6-1 for the Dodgers, and I will give you one for the other game as well. Josh Naylor pops a little bit on the numbers. Josh Naylor is 7-1 tonight in that Cleveland Yankees game. Yeah, I'm all right with that. Possibly batting clean up Josh Naylor in there. Yeah, that can work for us. So Smith at 6-1, Naylor at 7-1. Dylan, tidy little half an hour there. Friday night. What's happening with you? Anything fun?
Yeah, my best friend is getting married this weekend, so
Mate.
so going towards a vineyard about an hour west in New Jersey somewhere. So yeah, gonna go get my friend married, and yeah, got big slate in college. You got Georgia, Texas, we got UFC. We're loaded, kid, and yeah, hopefully fucking the Mets just end my misery tonight and we'll be good.
Excellent, mate. My missus has gone away for 3 days, so
Oh,
I've got
nice.
shenanigans to get up to. Yeah, exactly, mate.
By the
Tremendous.
way, I didn't see Forest on the schedule. Do they have like a bye? Like, what's going on?
Forest play Monday night.
Oh,
They're in
Monday.
Monday Night Football. That was an idea we stole off you. Yeah, it's home to Palace. If they were playing in the back garden, I would shut the curtains, Dylan. Absolute rubbish. But there you go. Captain Cero's coming for a party round at mine. You're very welcome. I'll put the address in the Discord channel. Thanks, everyone who was meant to be working on a Friday. We appreciate you getting involved. Yeah, great weekend of sport, great weekend of gambling, hopefully great weekend of winning as well. So we appreciate that, Dylan. Have a lovely time, mate. Looking for. I want to see some photos of you looking very smart, is what I'd like. Everyone else, have a great time. We do appreciate you joining us. Someone will be back. God knows when. Just watch out for the schedule would be my advice. But until then, we will see you all down the road. Thank you. Bye.